I've been to a few F1 races, and I'm a simulation geek. And you're combining the best of both worlds. You got a really great world-class simulation platform that's being actively used in motorsport. Now the curiosity hat goes on, Simon. How much training for motorsports races is now occurring in simulation?
So more and more is happening in the simulation and the virtual world, but not just for driver training. So obviously, a lot of people realize that the drivers use simulators to learn the tracks and to learn how to drive quickly on a circuit. But the simulators are now used more and more as an engineering and a strategy tool as well. So the realism in what we can create means that the engineering teams can really get the setups for the cars correct and get the best performance from the cars before they even arrive at the track for the race weekend. That's key. They have less and less time on the track nowadays. So, they need to, the first free practice session, like you see the drivers going out in free practice 1, the car needs to be at its optimum as soon as it hits the racetrack. And they achieve that by running lots of scenarios and lots of different setups in the simulator with the driver, get that feedback and get that optimum performance. So when they hit the track, straight away they're in the right window, and then they can just dial in the car for the conditions at the time and for the driver, and if anything has changed since they ran the simulations.
When they're preparing from an engineering perspective, are the engineers taking all the historical data, the weather data, the lighting data, all these, let's call it edge cases? Well, the wind could be a little stronger. Historically, it was this period, and putting all that into the simulation to properly prepare the driver for anything that might happen?
Exactly, yeah. And they do that in a number of ways. They do that both with and without the driver. So they do run some simulation programs, which is based on getting the optimum performance from the car. And that will take everything into account from, local weather conditions, prevailing winds, track temperature, tyre performance, and obviously all the characteristics for the vehicle as well, everything from the aero maps to the powertrain maps to, even the surface that we drive on. So all that information is taken together, and in a simulation, a static simulation or modeling that they do in the background, they will do that to kind of see what is the optimum setup for the car. The piece then that they really need our kind of motion simulator for is putting the driver into the loop of that performance. So it's all very well setting a car up to be at its optimum performance, but often that car won't be physically drivable by the driver. So then what they will do is use the driver in the loop simulator to get feedback from the driver on how they can make something that is drivable but still at its most optimum performance.